Hello and welcome to 7 Days to Die Darkness Falls Tips and Tricks for the Beginners. Today's episode will be about farming. I had a couple of ideas for the next videos and thank you for the last comment I received under one of the videos asking about the host. So that basically helped me choose which video to do next. Let's jump to it. So to set up a farm in Darkness Falls you need three things. First, you need seeds. Second, you need place where to put the seedlings. And third, you need water for it. So here you can see the items you can make seeds of. The first two rows are food, basic food. The third one are utilities. I mean, from the cotton you can make bandages and you can make bed, for example. And from supercorn you can make glue, but also it's used for farming in Darkness Falls. We'll talk about the supercorn later. The last row are fruits. The only difference in here is that for fruits you don't need water. You just need two things. You just need place and you need seeds. So there are two ways to make the seeds. You can make the seed in your hands, like normal. You can just grab the seed. However, if you have mortar and paste, you also can make seeds, and they are much cheaper. Let's have a look here. So this is to make from in hands. It requires 4 aloe vera. In mortar and paste, it requires just 2. So it's more efficient to use mortar and paste, especially because you will need the mortar and paste to make certain items as well. So it's good to remember to make the seeds in here. It's faster and it takes less resources. Place. To plant seeds, you can either use the farm plots, which are known from the vanilla. This is the cost of the farm plot. In Darkness Falls is the same. Or when you make a hoe, you can till the ground to do something like that. And let me show you. When we do this, we can actually plant the seed in here or in here. Okay. And small pro tip: when you do the farm, the big farm like that, and you set up the ground and everything, when you dig the holes and you basically put the soil in here, try to use topsoil instead of dirt. The reason for this is that when you put the topsoil, it looks different. The dirt looks exactly the same like the tilted ground, but you cannot plant anything in here. So if I grab another seed, I cannot plant in here. So if you set up the big farm, you're gonna go crazy because you're gonna lose the track of this at some point, and you would be running around with the hoe trying to tilt the ground, which it has exactly the same texture. So just for your sanity, it's much easier to put the topsoil. I know it's a little bit more expensive, but you can gain this back quite easily, the clay. And putting the topsoil allows you to actually see where you finish when you start to till the ground. Because when I till the ground right now in here, nothing changed. When I do this, it actually changed a lot, you see? Okay, so this is the tilted ground. This is the topsoil with the ability to plant the seeds. And the previous one, which I actually changed, it was a dirt which you cannot plant seeds on. So it's better to track your progress when you build the big farms. With small one, obviously this is your preference, but I found this much more useful to use the topsoil for. To gain the clay back is when you have some points to mining. Hold on, let me find this skill for mining. Miner 69er. So when we dig a hole right now, we got quite a lot of soil. Let me throw this away. We got 74 soil. To make the topsoil, we need 16. So we make one more topsoil. Put it back. Dig it down. We get 74. This is kind of funny duplication. It's useful when you are in areas when there is not a lot of soil. There is not many of those areas, but it's worth to remember that you actually get back more clay from digging the topsoil or dirt than you need to produce it. And the third component is water. Again, there are two choices you have. There is rain catcher or river or lake or something. You can put it next to the lake. You can put the seeds and they will grow. Or you can put a rain catcher, and the rain catcher actually will start to produce water. And when you use the rain catcher, I set up a little test in here. I put the rain catcher in the ground, as you can see, and I started to see how the rain catcher creates the water. And I noticed some pattern, and I decided to dig through it a little bit and investigate. First things first, when you have a water, you can have the seeds up to 4 tiles away from the water, and it doesn't matter if it's horizontal, vertical, or any, or diagonal. As you can see in here, we have 4 here, 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one, and this one grows as well. So it doesn't matter which way you will be building the farm, it just has to have not more than 4. We have guests. Not more than 4 tiles away from the water. So when I noticed this pattern, I decided to investigate a little bit. Let's go here, and this square is where the water will appear from the rain catcher. The rain catcher will not fill every single tile, but this is as far as it can reach. So if you make something like that, you will not have the water away from outside. Like in here, this is not efficient, especially because the water is on the ground and it just spreads. So you can lose the seeds because the water will replace the seeds. So you can lose the seeds. It's better to actually dig it down a little bit. Like here, dig it down. We made the square, and I plant some of the corn. As you can see, it's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and over there it's 4 as well. And I just plant another square. Just finish it up like that. Okay, all of them grows, which is great, which is actually kind of good and efficient. Obviously, the plants are taking water, so as you can see, they took all the water from here, and it will take some time to replace this water. So this is not the most efficient way, but this when you set up the farm like that, on all 4 corners of this rain catcher, the plants will grow. It will not grow efficiently. There are much more efficient ways. We'll talk about that, but they will grow. They will not stagger here. Okay, so just to visualize this a little bit, this is where we place the rain catcher, and this is how we dig the square. We've got 2 on the sides, and so basically 8 in here and 1 on each side, like that. Okay, so this is some sort of pattern you can use for the rain catcher. When we talk about pattern, this one started to produce water. When we talk about pattern, this is the pattern of the rain catcher and the seeds, where you can put the seeds. If you want to have the one rain catcher and you have a lot of seeds and you just want to set it up and from time to time just come back to this, you can do something like that. and one rain catcher will. This is like 4. All from every single tile is at least not more than 4 tiles away from any of the inner tiles. This is the pattern. Side note about the rain catchers: if you don't place it below the ground level, they will just make a mess. They are spreading much further, and they even spread through the fence. I think they are bugged or something, but they just spread like crazy. Okay, so it is better to put them below the ground, so the water is much more controllable instead of making something like that. You can clean it. You can clean the water. Use the hay bale. I'm not sure if I have any, but oh yeah. So if the accident happen like that, you can just place the hay bale and pick it up and just clean the water. The second choice, if you don't want to use the rain catcher, when you reach level 3 in Living of the Land, this one, you can build the irrigation system. The irrigation system, the irrigation pump, joint, straight and cap, is used to distribute the water more efficiently to the plants. So what we do is we set a water base. You can set it on the side of the lake as well. I didn't have a lake in here, so I set a lot of rain catchers. I placed a pump. This is the irrigation pump, and just took the pipes straight to the end of the path. This way, it will much more efficient distribute the water to the plants. It's taking the water from here and goes through the pipe. Don't forget to put the cap at the end of the pipe, otherwise you will lose much more water than you usually do. Alright. Quick note about the seeds for the fruits, just to cover everything, even though it's pretty straightforward. You don't need to till the ground, you don't need the water for those seeds, you can just plant them, as I've done it here for the fruits. I just made the seeds and plant them. See, I have the apple seed, you can just plant it, that's it. When the tree is like that, and it's so small, you cannot remove it. It needs to grow a little bit. It has 3 phases. It has small tiny phase, it will be a little bit bigger, and then it will grow to the full tree. When there is a full tree, you can collect it. It will regrow from this. This apple tree will regrow. You can also take it out, and you can take the trees from the land as well. When you find some trees, you can take it. You have a chance to get the seeds. It's not always, but you can get up to two seeds from the tree. So if you find the trees long way from home, it might be much more worth to try to get the seeds and plant them somewhere closer than actually leave them to grow. If you have the trees closer to your home, especially at the beginning of the game, it's better to just leave them. Just take the seeds and leave them to regrow. Just remember where they are, unless you want to put them next to your house. But for the trees really far away, you can actually take it. Those seeds are just for the apples. You cannot get seeds for oranges, you cannot get seeds for bananas, and you cannot get seeds for coconuts. You have to craft them. And to craft them, you have to spend some skill points or find the recipes for it. Apple seeds you can get. Let me actually test it. I have 5 trees in here, so yep, this one gave me a seed. You see, right bottom corner? This tree gave me a seed. The first one didn't. This one gave me a seed, so I have 1 seed. Let's see if I can get 2. Just to demonstrate. 1. Yep, there you go. So from the last tree I got 2 seeds, so altogether I have 4 seeds. So I have 5 trees, I have 4 seeds. If they would be far away from home, in my opinion, that is worth to do it. Let's come back a little bit. We were talking about the places. Let me go here. We were talking about the two ways to place the seeds, farm plots, and you can till the ground. So, looking at this from the logical point of view, building the farm plots doesn't make sense at all. They require resources, some time, you place them, and you cannot get them back. If I dig this farm plot right now, I'm not getting anything back. That was the one. Let me do it again. So we have 12 in here, just to be real. I have 12. So, why they are in a game? They are used in specific scenarios. They're used if you want to set up a farm underground. You can set up the farm underground. You need few different components. I mean, the idea is the same. There is one more component to add to it, is the light. Obviously, it's underground, so you need some artificial artificial light for it. Well, let's start with the seeds. Seeds you can make similar way, although it will require the supercorn. We were talking about this earlier, that the supercorn is used for farming. When you have at least two of the supercorn and the seeds for the different, I took a corn as well, but you can use the different seeds as well. Oh, we have a cotton. You've got those kind of purple seeds. Those seeds which use supercorn and the seedlings and the different material, they are used for the underground farming. You have to make them, and you have to have the supercorn. If you want to find the supercorn, there is a place for it. It's called Bob's Bors. I will show you where it is on this map. 1 second. If you want to find the Bob's Bors, is house alt number 3. Okay, this is the code for the Bob's Bors, for where you can find the supercorn. Remove it. See, it's Carl's corn, Bob's Bors. Okay, I'll pause the video here for a second because I have to somehow come back to home. Well, that was fun. I didn't think it through. I should take the motorcycle with me when I teleported to Bob's Bors. Anyway, underground farm. We have seeds. Second component is place. So the farm plots, you can use them above the ground, but you have to use them underground. You can use them like in vanilla. You can set up the farm, although you cannot pick them up, which is kind of annoying. In vanilla, when you dig the farm plot, you can actually pick it up. In Darkness Falls, like we proved before, you cannot do it. So when you place them, that's it. And they are kind of expensive, so I wouldn't use them above the ground. Underground, yeah, of course, you have to use them. The another component, light, is simple. It's a growing light. You have to use the metal workstation to make it, and you can place it, and it just gives the artificial light. The last component is water. So you have to use the irrigation system. I set it up in here. We've got some of the pipes. We have the irrigation pump. I place some water in here just to demonstrate. And on top of that, I place the farm plots. I could place them next to it as well, but I think that's much more tidy if I want to expand the farm. And I place the seeds on the farm plots. I couldn't use the normal seeds. You have to use we have to use the modified seeds, not the normal seeds. This is just to prove the point. So with this, with all these components, we have a farm underground, like way underground. We are on elevation +3, so just next to the bedrock. There you go. Okay, so we talk about the different components, how to make the farm, how to set up the normal farm, underground farm, where to find the irrigation system, how to grab the seeds, where to find the supercorn. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching.